Assalamualaikum guys, welcome back to another episode of Cook with Rooji. Today I'm joined by
Salma from Smart Cookie Tuition.
Salma's come from Manchester today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. Alhamdulillah, Salma and I have known each other for a couple of years now. We met at a retreat, right, in Scotland, in Glasgow, 2 years ago in the summer. And we've not looked back since, alhamdulillah. We've been great friends since.
Yep.
We've done plenty of retreats ever since then.
I know, we've done a lot since
and
then.
sleepovers.
And sleepovers and spa days.
Yes, oh my god, yeah. Forgot about that.
That's like the best thing.
Yeah. And so I was like, Salma, you need to come into my kitchen and tell everybody about what you do at Smart Cookie Tuition.
So we started in 2019 and it was just me and Naveela, who's my business partner, and we are both teachers. I'm English, she's maths, and she approached me. She actually approached me. I'd been thinking about the idea for a while, and she approached me and she said, Salma, what do you think about setting up a company? Because we are teachers, we've worked in education for a really long time, absolutely love working with kids, love seeing them succeed, and especially academically. And she was just like, what do you think? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But bearing in mind, we both just had newborns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So was it your youngest or?
The youngest, yeah. Both of us have got kids exactly the same age. So
No
we've
way.
both got 3 kids, all in the same school year.
So how old are your kids?
So 10, 8 and 5.
Oh,
yeah.
mashallah.
So they're all, they're all in school now, but at the time we had our youngest were home when they were babies when we set the company up. And it started off very small. We did some GCSE weekly sessions just before exams started, like that was once a week for about a number of weeks. That was the first thing we did. After that, that was in Scouts Hub, 10-week program, and we did that, and there was like a weekend. She did an hour, I did an hour. It was really good, really fun, really useful for the kids. So that was lovely. And then after that, we hired classrooms in like a school. She did English, I did maths. We had 10 kids between us. That's what we started with. Yeah, that's what we started with. And then COVID hit. So COVID hit.
How can we forget?
And the school basically were like, right, you're gonna have to, the premises being shut down, so you're gonna have to leave. And that was obviously quite scary because we'd only just started the business in October properly, formally, we were only there a few months, literally a few months, and then they were like, right, you're gonna have to stop. So that was quite scary. Then the online world opened up to us, Zoom, all of that stuff. Didn't have a clue about any of it, at the time. Like, who knew what Zoom was?
I think everybody had to learn. Like, so many people learned how to use Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't know what it was, like, literally. And anyway, but that actually ended up being a positive for us in the end, because the online world was not something we even had considered prior to that. So that was...
You've got a bigger reach as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
online, so.
Yes. And now, luckily, as a result of that, we offer hybrid tuition in the sense of we do both now. We do online groups, online one-to-ones. We do face-to-face groups, face-to-face one-to-one. So it's allowed us to, have a lot more range in what we can offer. So it was amazing in the end for us, but it was quite scary initially. The biggest clientele were from Altrincham in Trafford. Okay. So that's kind of the key area where most of our clients were coming from. So we thought, okay, let's look there. And we found the cutest little venue.
Is it your current one?
That's
I've seen it. It's cute.
It's really cute, and it's warm, and it feels so homely, and it's just what we needed really. And the kids love it. It's really nice. Our second year there. But what's been nice is, rather than the last few years where we've had to keep reinventing ourselves, but because of all these changes, we're not doing that this year. This year we're established already, and alhamdulillah, we're just ready to keep growing, and that is what's happening. But we're able to offer everything now. We've got primary tuition, 11 plus tuition, which is a big thing in Trafford, because obviously there's grammar school.
I remember I had 11 plus. I did my 11 plus.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't pass it. That's another story. I didn't pass it, but I did do it, and I remember just saying to my dad, I need a tutor at the time, and it was so hard to get tutors at the time.
Yeah.
And like now, alhamdulillah, I think just because of everything's accessible now online, there's so much more variety, and I think the fact that you do hybrid tuition is so helpful for so many people. And I know so many people that watch these videos, and people on my Instagram and my YouTube, they've got children, and at that age where they need that extra support.
Yeah, and we're really proud to say that we've got a really excellent team, like an excellent team. if it wasn't for them, things wouldn't be the way they are for us. Like our reputation is really preceding us now. People are word of mouth, you know. That's how people are.
I know she doesn't do any advertising.
No, barely.
Yeah, I have to teach her how to do advertising online.
I've been trained.
Alhamdulillah, you're always full. You're always full at full capacity.
We are.
And to say that you're already, you know, the fact that you're not doing as much advertising, you know, you're at full capacity. It just shows that is word of mouth. And that gets you out there.
We are like constantly putting on classes. You know, as soon as we get people like inquiring, but the inquiries are literally flooding in, and this is purely by word of mouth. We've really not done much marketing at all. We keep saying, we need to do something, we need to get in now, and you know, start sending things on social media and this and that. But so without it, we're doing really well. Alhamdulillah.
To do that in the community and build up those children, that's the future generations that we're going to rely on.
Exactly, and it's so rewarding. Like,
I can imagine. I remember. So I told Salma that I actually got asked by my neighbours to tutor with their kids, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't opened like a GCSE book in like what? Too many years. I'm not going to say how many, like, too many years. And I just had to Google all the answers for everything. I was sat on Google like, that's correct. That's correct. But the only one that I was actually good at was like when my neighbour's kid was like, I want to start a business. I was like, let's sit down, put them. Let's have a chat about how you start a business. I was like, we'll do that. I've got a question for you though.
Okay.
Who came up with the name for the business?
I'd say it was more me.
Is she watching?
She might disagree. Actually,
Smart cookie tuition. I mean, it's just genius, isn't it? I love it.
We get complimented on the name, the branding quite a lot, actually.
It's ingenious.
Thank you. Well, it's funny because we actually had come up with a completely different name, and you know how you have to register house and all that.
And it was taken.
No. The night before, or in fact, the hour before we were about to register the name, I changed my mind and I was like, I don't like that name. I want this name. I was just like,
because she's very last minute like me.
Yeah.
We're talking about this earlier.
We've had that today, big last minute. But I was just like, I was not feeling that name, and because we were about to register, it was going to stick with us for a really long time.
Your branding is everything, isn't it? You've got to get it right.
Yeah.
Because of the name that she chose, an hour before she registered it. Your branding inspired today's recipe. So today, guys, we're making cookies. They're not smart, they're just delicious. They're just delicious cookies. This recipe is available in my ebook. I've linked it below. You can go on my website and purchase it, and it includes like up to 26 recipes, and they're all like my signature dessert recipes. Now, this particular recipe you can also purchase as an e-card, and it's usually £2.50 on my website, but for you watching, you can have it for free. I will share a discount code at the end of this video, so you've got to watch it all the way through, unfortunately, to get my discount code. And we're going to show you how to make these cookies.
I'm so excited.
Right? I know you do, right?
My cuppa.
Yeah,
Yorkshire cuppa.
Yes, she knows what she's doing.
Gold blend, ideally.
Yeah. Yes, now we're talking. So we've got a couple of eggs. Now for this recipe, we need 1 whole egg and we need 1 egg yolk. So I want you to crack the egg into this if you can. Okay. Right. So crack the egg and separate the egg yolk from the egg white.
I hate doing this.
Right. This is why we're gonna show everybody how good Salma's skills are.
Try not to do this without getting any shells in.
Yes.
That's the issue, isn't it?
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you get it into the white, because I'm not using the white. So that's it. That's perfect. You did it perfect. Right, and stick that in the big bowl. Bismillah.
Okay. What, the yolk?
Yeah, just the yolk. Okay. We don't need the white.
The yolk. Okay.
Bismillah, fantastic. Right, you can put them in there as well, because we're not going to use that.
Okay.
And then you can just crack a full egg into it. And then we've got some brown sugar. Now, a lot of recipes for cookies use like white sugar, they use demerara, or they'll use brown sugar. It all varies.
Yeah.
Now, even muscovado in some recipes.
Yeah.
I have experimented with this recipe for so long, and do you know what cookies I love? Oh. Subways. Have you ever had Subway cookie?
Oh, yes.
They're like crispy on the outside, but really chewy. And I love that. And there's so much chocolate inside. I'm like, this is what you need. And I don't like a cookie that's like a bit stingy on the chocolate chips. I'm like, we're not rationing chocolate chips in my cookies, mate. Yeah. So what we'll do, if you want to grab a tea towel just on there, that you can get that. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to add, we've got 1 egg yolk. I'm going to add the brown, so this is soft light brown sugar. Yeah. So if you feel it's really, really soft, like you can feel the softness, you know what I mean? It's fluffy, innit? Yeah. You know how much I like fluffy. Everything's got to be fluffy. Yeah. And now what we're going to do is, if you whisk this, so you can actually do this by hand, but my whisk is just falling apart. Right, let me just give it a whiz and see if it... Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay,
so I've linked my KitchenAid. This is a wireless whisk, which is so helpful. So we're just gonna whisk this until it comes together and it's nice and creamy. So that's the egg yolk, and the brown sugar.
Gosh, I never knew to add like a yolk on its own. I never ever.
It just adds like a richness to the recipe.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's so good. Because I've done it with 2 eggs before, and I find it too runny.
Right.
So I like this consistency. So
this is where
you have to experiment.
Inside, the baker's inside, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. Let's show you guys. So this is the consistency we're looking for. Go on. Next, we've got some melted butter. So I'm using unsalted butter, and I'm melting it because butter at room temperature is a solid, right? And if you use cold butter in cookies, it'll be lumpy. If you melt it, it'll basically create a really soft, smooth dough. Wow. Honestly, it makes such a difference.
Oh my god.
I love how impressed you are.
I am!
So like a basic, for me, it's like, oh, I just know this. Like,
yeah.
But I don't just know it. I had to learn it. Do you know what I mean? I don't just know it. So melted butter and give that a whisk.
Give it a whisk. Okay. This is a really nice whisk.
It's so good, right?
Yeah.
Everybody says this. Like,
I just love the way it works. Like it's just
so smooth.
Yeah, really smooth.
KitchenAid, obviously one of the leading brands anyway, but I particularly like this one because there's no wires, and I just charge the battery. And when I'm filming, it's so much easier. So guys, I've linked it below. I actually use an app called WeShop to purchase any of these like electrical equipment items for my kitchen, because WeShop give you share back on all your purchases. Yeah. And so when you buy something like this, I think it's just over £100 maybe. I'm not sure exactly how much it is now. But you'll get 10% back on your purchase. Wow. So it's definitely worth it.
I think I downloaded that, so I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a look for it,
And then we're going to go in with plain flour, right? So plain flour, we don't want to use self-raising flour in this, because what we don't want is we don't want a cake texture. We want cookie, want them to be flat, but chewy. Okay. But we do want a little bit of raising agent. We don't want them to be completely dead. So we are going to put a little bit of bicarbonate of soda in. Okay. So going in with bicarbonate of soda. That's it. And if you whisk that up, please, that would be amazing.
It's getting very thick and crumbly.
Yep. I hold the bowl at this angle and I put it on full just to get rid of all of that excess, but it stays within the bowl. Yeah. So it's not going like flicking out. That cleans the whisk a little bit. Now I'll give you this rubber spatula. If you just wipe down the edges and just give that a mix. That comes into a dough. Now, it doesn't look like a dough as in like hard dough, because right now it's got the melted butter in it. Yeah. But there's a solution for that. So as the butter starts to cool, because it's warm, it'll start solidifying and it'll become harder. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the chocolate chips in at this stage, and then we can put it in the fridge for a little bit just to let it firm up. Right. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can either put it in the fridge as it is in the bowl. Yeah. And a metal bowl helps it cool quicker. Yeah. So you don't have to leave it in the fridge for too long. Yeah. Or you can roll out your cookies, then put that tray in the fridge, and then put them straight in the oven.
So what's that doing? Just sort of solidifying
the butter, basically. So what happens is, when you've got your cookies, if the butter's melted with your cookies and it's soft as this, what happens is, as soon as you get it in a hot oven, the heat makes it spread. So has anybody ever made cookies where it's all stuck together and it's like a one big cookie sheet? Yes. That's what happens is the butter's spread. Now, if you put it in the fridge, what you're doing is you hold the butter molecules come together, they'll hold, and then they're a bit cold. So when you put them into a hot oven, they take a little bit longer to thaw. So the spread is not as much. So you can control how thin your cookies are by how long you put it by how much you warm the butter, how much you cool the cookie dough, and how long you bake them for. So it all varies. It's great. It's science.
So scientific.
It is. Baking is a science. Honestly.
It truly is.
So I asked Salma before the video. I said to her, "Do you want to do chocolate chip or milk, white chocolate? What cookies do you want?" And you said double chocolate. Yeah. So we're doing milk and white chocolate chips. I'm using Caribou chocolate. I have linked it below. You can purchase it on Amazon.
So cute.
Eat them.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try both.
Don't have to ask her twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try both.
Yeah. It's Belgian chocolate. It's the best quality. I'm gonna put some of these in. So we've got now mix them through. I'm not putting them all in, but I don't like I said to you, I like a good chocolate.
Yeah, we like a chocolatey chip.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And this bit's a bit hard, so it takes a minute to just get it all into the dough.
I kind of wanted to do a cookie recipe really with you because obviously we're all about kids anyway, and it's
Yeah,
just nice
you
to
could
have...
take you could take some of the kids at some point, maybe make it at home.
Yeah, definitely, and
That'd
it's
be
just so
fun.
nice to have something to do, even with your own kids as well.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, definitely do it. I've got some lined baking sheets, got some parchment on this, and what we can do is we can roll them out. So it's up to you what you use, but if you guys have got like an ice cream scoop at home, it's probably one of the easiest things to use. But everyone's got usually got one.
Yeah,
and then you just sort of scoop up a bit of the dough.
Yeah.
And it depends. Now I've got this coffee scoop. Right, this is for filter coffee. It's not actually like it doesn't. This is just a clip onto the bag. So it's not actually a clip for like it's not like an ice cream scoop, yeah. But what I tend to do is if I want smaller cookies, I tend to just do this, and it pops out a little, and it's around about the same size. So we can make some small ones. I think small ones because you'll have more to take home for the kids.
Yeah, I think they'll appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So all we need to do is we just need to scrape some out, and then roll them into balls, and then just pop the balls on the sheet. Now this is another thing that I want you guys to know when you're making these. So you roll them out, Salma.
Yeah.
You want to ensure you've got enough space on your baking tray. Now, a lot of people use the baking trays that come in the oven that have raised edges.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes people use those. Ideally, you want a flat baking sheet.
Okay.
Because what you don't want to do is restrict the spread of the cookie. Because anything that's got like a lip on it changes the shape of it.
Yeah, it does. I've had it where they've gone straight.
Yeah.
Round,
straight on the edge. Weird, right? Who wants a square cookie, right?
Yeah.
So you want to have a good spacing between your cookies. So I'm just going to use Salma's as the ones that she's rolled, and I usually put about 3 along the top, because you've got to remember when a cookie is spreading, it's going to spread right, left, up, down. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be all over. So you want to give it a good amount of room to spread. So what I do is I put 3 at the top, and then I'll put 2 in the middle, and then 3 at the bottom. So I'm only baking 8 cookies at a time. And the other tip is you want to bake them on the middle shelf of the oven. So we've preheated our oven. It's at 170. It's on a conventional oven. So a fan oven, essentially, it circulates the air within the oven. So what it does, it gives you an even spread of hot air. Now it's really good for baking cakes, because what happens with cakes, they rise, right? We've got a raising agent in a cake, and it helps the rise because the hot air is circulating. It's great for like roasting chicken and things like that. Whereas with the conventional oven, the conventional sign on an oven is usually like the 2 lines up and down. There's usually 1 and 2 lines. And what happens there is you get heat coming directly from the top and directly from the bottom. But it's not circulating. So that heat is sort of concentrated, and usually hot air rises, right? And so what it's doing is it's not trying to puff things up. So when you're baking puff pastry and croissants and bread, and you want a rise, you want air to flow. But with cookies and things like brownies and blondie tray bakes that are like quite solid, you don't want a rise. You want it to be quite flat. And so we use the conventional setting. Now what we're going to do is, this is a little tip for you. Because I like chocolate, now you can see some of them have got chocolate, that's evident, but we've saved some for later, because I like to put mine on the top once I've rolled them out, because as they spread, these chocolate chips will also spread out. And the cookies look amazing when they've got loads of chocolate chips on top.
Cute.
This looks so good. I watch when they spread, they're honestly so good.
My kids would love doing this
delicious.
as well.
Exactly right.
Kids would love to
enjoy it. It's so therapeutic, right? Just doing it. It feels like so nice.
And know that you're gonna get the sweet treat afterwards.
Can't go wrong. Right, I'm gonna put these ones in the oven now. I know we haven't chilled them in the fridge, but I think the butter has cooled enough, and because they're so small, they won't need that long in the oven. Usually about 10 to 12 minutes. That's it. That's all it's gonna take. So if you roll the rest of those out, and I'm gonna get these in the oven just like that. And we can enjoy some as soon as they come out.
What a nice colour. Got such a gorgeous colour. I've never thought to
Should we go over to the oven and have a look at how it's getting on?
Let's do it.
Oh, look at that.
They're looking good, aren't they?
They look really good. And can you see the spreading? But the top bit hasn't spread as much just yet. If they were in the fridge on the bite, they would have bigger domes on them. But I quite like my cookies to spread. And when they come out the oven and they're cool, because right now what's happening is the hot air is pushing that dome upwards, because it's got a bit of bicarbonate soda in there. As soon as we take it out of the hot air, it'll come down. It'll deflate a little bit because that hot air's come out. Because you know, if you've ever made a cake, have you ever baked a cake and you've opened
not very well, I guess.
Right, so have you ever opened the oven and then the dome's just deflated and it's got like a crater? It's because what happens is as soon as you open the oven door, she just noticed herself eating, and she was like, I know, just eat them.
The last one.
I'm not judging. And I was like, no.
No, you shouldn't be eating all this. You've got inflammation, Salma.
Yeah, actually, get that away from her.
Yeah, get it away.
So yeah, basically what happens is, as soon as you open the oven door, the hot air gets knocked out of the oven by the cold air, and the same happens within the cake. So if you've got a rise and then you knock the hot air out, and it'll just go poof.
Yeah.
So I always say when you're baking my cake recipes, don't open the oven door too soon. We're waiting for the cookies to finish baking. We've got about 3 minutes for those ones. And I said to Salma, because given she's a tutor, why don't you ask me some questions? I wanted you to do maths because it's my strongest subject. But she's an English tutor.
Yeah, I can't do maths anyway at all. I wouldn't even know what to ask you other than 2 add 2. What's that?
4.
Yay! Yeah,
okay. Right.
Sticker.
Okay.
Okay, so
the bar is low. If I'm getting a sticker for 4, 2 plus 2. The bar is very low. Send your kids, they'll feel great. The confidence will be through the roof.
Okay, right. So I decided to ask English questions.
Okay, go on.
But off the top of my head, so these are not prepared. Which novel or novella does the phrase bar humbug come from?
I've heard of it, and I'm thinking, it's definitely a Christmas one. It's a Christmas one.
Yeah, it is.
I think the first time I heard it was in Shrek. No, the Grinch, not Shrek. The Grinch.
Yeah.
I heard it in Grinch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it a Charles Dickens novel? Oh, am I right?
You are right.
Okay,
yeah, what's it called though? It has a very prominent, well-known, miserable figure in it called...
Oh, Scrooge.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Grinch is. He's Scrooge.
Yeah. So what's the name of the novel that it comes from? What is Scrooge in?
It's something Christmas.
Yeah.
It's something Christmas. I just can't get. I know it, but I don't know it. I feel like I'm on a TV game show right now. Like, you're gonna win £10,000 if you get this question right, and I'm like, Christmas.
Might give you free tuition.
Wow. What are you saying, man? I got my GCSEs. Got 11.
What's the thing you needed it, you know?
Okay. A Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I got it right. Okay, it came eventually. I mean, I don't think I'll have that much time on a TV game show, but.
Yeah. Which Shakespearean play does the phrase "out damned spot" come from?
Oh, out damned spot. I know this one. It's Macbeth, because Lady Macbeth couldn't get the blood off her hands. Yes, I remember we studied this at GCSE. Got 2 right. Christmas Carol and okay.
Okay. What other novels or plays do we do?
Or poems.
Where art thou?
Romeo. Literally the question I've been asking for about 35 years. Where art thou, Romeo?
That was very apt, wasn't it?
So these have been in for about 12 minutes. Right, if you pull that tray out carefully. Oh, look at these.
Wow.
They do look amazing.
Oh, they're so cute.
Right.
And you smell glorious.
They do. It smells so good.
God.
Okay, I've got another little thing to blow your mind.
Go on.
Right.
My mind's been blown that many times. I'm not sure I can cope anymore, but go on.
Sometimes when you bake cookies and they come out the oven, they're not always round.
Okay.
So if you lift the tray up, just the tray, yeah. Basically,
Trying to do just the tray. Doing everything
that's
else.
the stand as well. Now, a little tip for you guys and for you, Salma.
Okay.
If your cookies are not round and they're misshapen, whilst they're still hot and warm, right, put a glass over the top and just do this whilst they're soft. And what'll happen is it'll make them nice and round because they're still like sort of soft and they're pliable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just need to do. Mine are quite pretty round, so you can't really tell the difference. But that's because you roll them into balls, and if they're equal size. But if your kids are making them and they want them round, do that whilst they're hot.
Oh
and
my goodness!
It will turn them.
Wow! Like this girl, she's just full of these tips and tricks. Oh my god!
Literally, you learn this over the years. But look, they're so nice, right? Like they look so beautiful.
Yeah.
We're gonna let them cool a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can always transfer them onto a cooling rack if you wanted. But what I would do is I would recommend you wait because you want the bottom of it to be because they're a bit soft still. But if you can pick them up, some of them might be a bit too thingy. But look, nice and brown, no soggy bottoms.
Oh gosh.
But they're still soft, right? You can feel the softness.
Yes.
That's what we want. That gooiness, but that chewiness.
I think
with the crunchiness and the chocolatiness and
God.
the goodness. She's dying to eat.
I literally am. They're so nice. I think my when I've ever done them, I've definitely left them in too long.
Yeah.
They've gone really hard.
They've gone really hard. Yeah, like you
dry.
get proper like a crack from them.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
And so this is why the mine lasts a little bit longer because it's still got a bit of moisture in them. But you have to be wary that there's dairy in it and it's not going to last for so long. They'll keep at room temperature for up to about, I'd say 7 days to stay on the safe side. I'd keep it at 10.
Not gonna last that long.
Literally, everyone always says that to me. And the other thing you can do, if you've got any leftover cookie dough like this, you can roll it out into a log, put it into cling film, stick it in the freezer. And then, when you're ready for cookies, because you've got a log, chop them into cookie shapes, put them on a baking tray, stick them in the oven, same time, 12 minutes. They will come out perfect.
Wow. This one had a really beautiful. Shall I break it? Okay.
Yeah, go on. Show them. Do a little close up. Look at that.
Is it? Oh my god. Oh, it's so soft.
It is really soft
so
on the
gorgeous
inside,
and soft, and it's nice and hot. Oh, okay, let's give it a go.
Do you know what? I think you need a glass of milk. We need a glass of milk with this.
Oh my god.
Isn't it perfect?
It is literally perfect.
The other thing, use the same cookie dough. Get a cast iron skillet.
Yeah.
Fill the skillet with cookie dough.
Yeah.
Stick it in the oven. Cook that for 12 minutes, 13 minutes, maybe something a little bit longer depending on the size of your skillet. Put ice cream on top, bit of chocolate sauce, cookie dough, dessert. Same recipe, guys. It's so versatile.
This is better than
any shop bought.
Any shop bought, and like when you go for like desserts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's better than that. Yeah.
This cookie dough recipe is just like, I think it beats all of them. Because sometimes you get some that are like sickly sweet. You know,
and I don't like that. Yeah, exactly.
And you have like 2 bites and you're just like, oh,
I've
got sugar rush now.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you can use. Oh, it's just
it's kind of a bad thing because you can keep eating them.
Yeah.
So you can actually make it cookie. The same recipe, you can do lots of different flavours. So here I made, these are some I made earlier, Blue Peter style. I made peanut butter cookies. So these have got Reese's peanut butter chocolate chips in. And they've got milk chocolate chips in as well. So these are the Dr. Oetker ones.
Wow.
And then I drizzled peanut butter over the top. I just let it set at room temperature. And then I just did some little ones with just, these are the same Calibu chocolate ones with the same chocolate chips. Yeah. The most amazing cookies ever. And Salma's proof of this. She's loving it. She's dying for another one. She's waiting for me to turn the camera off before she's going to have another. But seriously, just have it. No one judging, man.
Good for a big one.
I love it. There's me thinking she's shy. She's like, don't give me that one. That's too small. I'll put the big one.
Do you know?
So if you want this recipe, it's available as a downloadable e-card. Go to my website. My link is below for the website and for the recipe card. And enter the discount code SMARTCOOKIE. We'll get that for free. And it'll be emailed directly to you. So you can make as many cookies as you want, whatever flavour, and all of the things that we discussed about the variations of how you can use this recipe, you can basically make that with this one recipe. And everyone loves it. Like, everyone swears by this recipe. So alhamdulillah, it is definitely one for you guys to try for yourself or for the kids, whatever you fancy. But yeah, enjoy it with a bit of milk. And thank you very much for joining us. And Salma, where can people find out about Smart Cookie Tuition? Where can they go? How can they sign up if they want their kids to sign up?
So there's a number of ways. The best way would be to either go on our website, so it's www.smartcookietuition.com, or our Instagram handle is @smartcookietuition.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for coming and baking with me and sharing your knowledge of English with everyone and giving me 3 out of 3.
She did amazing.
Alhamdulillah. I was really nervous. I was like, ask me maths questions. I'm better at maths.
I was like, I'm not doing maths. If Naveela was here, it would have been different. But yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And guys, please go check out, go support, and share with others as well. And if you know anybody that's looking for tuition or that has children that might benefit from it, share it with them as well, inshallah.
Don't have to be based in Manchester. We've got loads of online tutors who are excellent. So yeah, get in touch.
Fantastic. Jazakallah khair. Thank you guys. And till next time, enjoy cookies. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum.